what's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2009 GMC Savanna. Up front is a 6.6-liter turbo diesel V8, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this GMC Savanna because it has that 6.6-liter diesel. I've been slowly working my way through the Chevy Express van repertoire, and I have not driven a diesel one, so we get to check that off the list. This is also modified as a sort of hot-shotting road trip vehicle, so we're going to be talking about some of the modifications as well as just how awesome this van is. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 6.6-liter turbo diesel, the whole reason why we're here. Well, this engine was offered from 2006 until 2016, where the diesel option was maintained, but it was replaced by the 2.8-liter Duramax 4-cylinder, and that lived until 2022. There's currently no diesel option for the GMC Savanna/Express van. Why would you want a diesel? Well, you want that added torque. That's the big thing. And while this engine is fully capable of making mid-300s, it's actually detuned to about 250 horsepower from the factory because the transmission, the 4L80E, is not that strong. So they reel it in a little bit so you don't destroy a transmission the second you try to drive it. Now, people, of course, tune these. It being a turbo diesel, it's incredibly tunable, so you, of course, have options. You probably didn't hear much. It pulls like a school bus for obvious reasons, but you get that really solid low. You know what this has? This van has dad strength. You don't really know where it comes from. You don't know why it's so strong, but it is just strong when you need it to be, and I love that. That's why I love diesels. And it here in the Savanna, I thought it was gonna feel weird. I thought it was gonna feel wonky. It actually feels quite at home for what I'm doing. Like I said, paired to it is that 4-speed automatic. They have been known to be somewhat problematic, especially if you do a lot of towing. Last but not least about the drivetrain, this Savanna is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the Duramax Savanna? Well, it drives really nice. It does have a little bit harder of a ride than you might suspect. Now, this is the longer wheelbase, so bumps are more exaggerated because of that. You know, you hit a bump up front and then you feel it again about a minute and a half later. Relatively stiff ride. It's not very fast, but again, you want this for pulling. You want this for doing utility stuff. You want this to be a longevity, long-haul engine, and so speed just isn't really the top priority. And that's okay. You do kind of sit on top of it. You do feel like you're almost on a tractor rather than sitting like in the car, but to be expected, you sit high up, things like that. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 5 gauges. Off to the left is my oil pressure, coolant temperature, speedometer in the center, battery voltage, and fuel off to the right. We also do get a GMC badge on the steering wheel covering up the Chevy badge that probably would have gone here, or Pontiac, or Saturn, or whatever this steering wheel was thrown into. You do have cruise control options off to the left of the steering wheel, and off to the left of the steering wheel, we do have a climate control vent, our information buttons, headlight switch, and gauge dimmer switch. Moving on to the door, we have power mirrors and power windows, as well as our power locks. This is a holdover button from the 1990s. Up above me, I do have light switches for the rear. This is put in for the Explorer edition. Very, very cool to see that. And then down below that, we have fan speed, where to send it, and temperature for the rear climate, as well as our CB radio. This is, of course, is aftermarket. Moving into the center, you do get the climate controls. Very simple stuff here. Fan speed off to the left, temperature in the center, and where to send it off to the right. We do have an aftermarket radio. And down below, we have the 12-volt outlet airbag on and off, another 12-volt outlet all the way off to the right, and 2 more climate control vents. Moving into the center console, We do have cup holders. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test. And here's the thing. Chevy Express vans usually pass. However, this is actually surrounded by a hard plastic exterior. I don't know if this is aftermarket or for the GMC Savanna or what, but it doesn't allow the bottle to go in more than an inch, and the bottle will fall out if you take a corner. So unfortunately, I don't know if it's just this particular GMC Savanna, but it does fail the big friggin' bottle test where all the Chevy Expresses I've driven have passed. Kind of sad to see. Then we do have some storage down below, but it is blocked by this. This is an aftermarket 12-volt refrigerator. Plugs into the 12-volt outlet, or you can wire it into the vehicle if you're gonna use it a lot. And I did not know that these exist. The owner says that this is an absolute game changer when on the road. He lives and dies by his 12-volt refrigerators now. So again, not a factory piece, but definitely something to look into if you do road trips. The seats are incredibly comfortable, but they do have these World Explorer emblems embossed in the headrest. This is the Explorer version. So they are very, very comfortable. They feel like 90s seats, which is really hard to find post 2008, besides in vehicles like this. So incredibly comfortable seats, absolutely lovely. They're great. However, speaking of seats, we do have one more row of seating, although we could have had 3 more rows. So let's go do some back seat reviews. This is just one of those cars where it makes more sense to go handheld for the back than setting up the camera. So we do have double doors here, little latch down here to open up the second door, because normally this would have another row of captain's chairs and then a 4th row of a bench seat. Now, those have been removed. The owner, when he bought it, it didn't have the bench seat anyway, but he removed the 2nd row of captain's chairs and obviously put a bed back here. It also has all these shades, it has speakers in the ceiling, lights in the ceiling, but then this is our 2nd row. Again, just like the front seats, captain's chairs, we have the badge on the back here as well. You have some fuse panels down there, some trays and whatnot, some really nice curtains. And again, up on the ceiling, we get some grab handles, lights, and vents. This is absolutely where you want to be on a long road trip. This is just an awesome, awesome road trip vehicle. I love the blinds. I love, all of this stuff, the big cup holders and whatnot. Really, really cool to see all of that. So that is the back of the GMC Savanna. I can come around the very back if you would like, so you can see a view from back there. But I promise you, it's not going to be much different. But we do have a handle back here. Open it like that, and then like this. And there you go. That is the far back of the GMC Savanna. Very, very cool. Now we got to talk about the looks. It's fine. I don't think that this is particularly handsome. I don't think that this was winning any design awards, and if you look at it, it looks pretty similar to what you would find here in 2025, although this is 16 years old. Now, like I said, this is the longer wheelbase. I believe this is around 150 inches, where the standard wheelbase is around 130. I'll put the real numbers up on the screen. I just don't have them in front of me. And that's actually an interesting point, because the Ford vans offer a longer chassis as well, but they just keep the wheelbase the same and add on more behind it. So for towing, this is a lot more sturdy and a lot more stable because it has that longer wheelbase as opposed to just adding on to the back. Very, very cool. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the GMC Savanna with the Duramax diesel? Well, it's been a great experience. I absolutely love this van. This is peak Chevy Express GMC Savanna. This is the best one you can get. It has that diesel for long haul. It has all the power that you need. It can run and idle for hours without any hesitation. And then you step inside and you have great amenities. You have so much space. You have the bed in the back. You have the beautiful captain's chairs, rear climate controls. And this particular one is just outfitted with great technology and great additions to it. This is the perfect van that you want for your next road trip. This is it. This is all that you need. And so here it is. I know I say this is a review, but it's really just sharing the glory that is the GMC Savanna diesel. This is just absolutely glorious. I want to take this across the country today if the owner would let me, and that is a very, very cool feeling. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of this GMC Savanna. What an amazing, amazing van. Arnie, the owner, is absolutely wonderful. He's a great friend. He has so many weird cars. Please go out and make a friend who has weird cars, because they are just the best kind of people. Arnie's all over social media. I'll link his stuff down below, but I really, really appreciate it. I also appreciate you guys watching the video, so don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it, and I'll sign off here. Over and out.